Hey, ladies and gentlemen, it's Mrs. Hoekstra again. We're in Module 1, Lesson 5. I'm on page 16. The name of the lesson is Identifying Proportional and Non-Proportional Relationships in Graphs. All right, page 16. I'm going to type in our essential question there. I like it in red, you know. So I'm going to type in, how are proportional quantities represented? How are proportional quantities represented on a graph? And you're like, hey, Mrs. Hoekstra, you got some typos in there. You're right. I will fix them. There. How are proportional quantities represented on a graph? By the end of this lesson, you should be able to answer that. Now, if you notice, it says the opening exercise, Isaiah sold candy bars to help raise money for his scouting troop, right? The table shows the amount of candy he sold compared to the money he received. Is this amount of candy, the amount of candy bars sold proportional to the money Isaiah received, and how do you know? I'm going to pause the video. I want you to try this one on your own, figure it out based on the last couple lessons, if this is proportional or not. So go ahead, hit pause, and check with me when you are done. Okay, so when I worked it out after going through, I compared the $3 to the 2 candy bars sold. I got $1.50. I did $5 for the 4 candy bars. They were $1.25 each. $9 for 8 candy bars was $1.12 or $1.13 each. And then $12 for 12 candy bars was $1 each. So obviously this is not proportional because the rate wasn't the same every time, right? It was actually getting smaller every time. So if you got that, awesome. That shows me that you are understanding what we've been doing the last few days. Good job. If you are struggling with that, then send me an email. Say, hey, Mrs. Hoekstra, I'm struggling. Can you go back over and explain this to me? Can we get together maybe before or after school and help me with that? I will gladly do that with you guys. All right, so let's take a look at example 1 here. It says, from a table to a graph, using the ratio provided, so the one we just did, or no, excuse me, the one that was just given to us here in this table, using that, plot the points on the grid, okay? So we're going to take this ratio that's already given to me, and we're going to assume, we're going to say that that ratio keeps going. We're going to keep the ratio. Keep this ratio every single time. So let's suppose instead of 2 candy bars sold, I sold 4. Well, 2 candy bars sold, I earned $3. So 4 candy bars, I would earn 6. And let's suppose that I had 6 candy bars sold. I'm going to have $9 received. And let's suppose I sold 8 candy bars. I'm going to get $12, right? Just keep that ratio the same. Well, what I need to do then is it says to plot those points on the table, on the grid. And notice that the candy bars are X and the money received was Y. But if I look at that graph, it doesn't show me which one's X and which one's Y. X is always going to be the horizontal. Y will always be the vertical. Okay? And I'm going to actually label this X1 to say candy bars sold, right? And I'll label that so that those numbers actually mean something. They actually have a meaning. And then I'm going to do the same thing on the Y. I'm going to write that this is the money received. And that is paid to me in dollars. So I'm going to put the dollar sign behind it. All right, then I'm going to graph those. X always comes first alphabetically, so I'm going to do the X value first when it comes to plotting these. So 2 candy bars, so I'm going to go over to 2, and then up to 3. 1, 2, 3, right there I'm going to put a data point. All right, next I'm going to have 4 candy bars, so I go across the bottom, count to 4, and then I'm going to go up 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to put my data point there. I'm going to go across the 6 candy bars and up to $9, way up there, put a data point. And then last, I'm going to go 8 on the candy bars and 12 on the money received. All right, so there they are. Now, I don't know, maybe if I squint my eyes, I think if I took a straight edge, like maybe my edge of my book or a ruler or even like the edge of my my ID, right? And if I put that on there, I bet I could connect those with a straight line. Okay, and if I did, not only would they make a straight line, right? Not only are they going to go straight through, but they're also going to go right through 0, 0. Okay, it's going to go right through 0, 0 like that. If I connect them with a straight edge. And that is like giving me lots of cool information. So I'm going to write down a couple things that I noticed here. If I connect the dots, they can make a line and they go through 0, 0. I've got a proportional relationship here. Okay, that's what I know, because I know up here I was told it was going to be, that ratio was going to stay the same. So let's just jot ourselves a note. In fact, I'm going to put a big old star here, or maybe a smiley face, something that's going to grab my attention later. So when I'm getting ready for a test, I'll be like, oh, that was important because there's a star there. If I connect, right, if I connect the data, they make a line. That's what we noticed. And not only did it make a line, but a line that goes through, yes, I don't spell the word through correctly. I use the little shortcut, use through 0, 0, right? It went through 0, 0 right there, that point, 0, 0, called the origin, okay? It goes through there. When it does that, if I connect the data, they make a line that goes through 0, 0, then the relationship is proportional. Okay? By the way, I want to talk about that 0, 0 point really quick. Okay, that point 0, 0. The first number, 0, is the candy bars sold, right? I sold 0 candy bars. Sold 0 candy, right? If I sell 0 candy, how much money did I make? Yeah. I don't make any money. That's kind of logical to me, right? I didn't go out and sell anything. I'm not going to make any money. So that proportion stays true. So because it made a line when I connected those data points, and the line goes through 0, 0, I know it is a proportional relationship. Awesome. Let's go to the next page. Okay, example 2. Look back at the table from the opening. So that one we did, that you did on your own to find out if it was proportional or not, right? Let's graph that data. Let's see what happens when we do that. All right, it's already all labeled for us. The number of candy bars sold on the X. Money received is already there on the Y. All we have to do is put the points in. So I'm going to go 2 on the candy bars and up $3, 1, 2, 3 on the money received. I'm going to go 4 candy bars sold, so 4 on the X and up 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 8 candy bars sold, $9 up there. Wow. 12 candy bars sold, $12. Put a dot there. Well, if I grab a straight edge, the edge of my book, the side of my ID, whatever, and connect, going through, whoop, I did not grab that point, did I? And I grab it and try to go straight through. Does it go through all the points? It does not. In fact, that one, look at that. It does not go through all the points. Okay? It gets really close, but it doesn't go through all of them. It must go through all of them. So since I cannot connect it with a straight line, right? I cannot connect it with that straight line. If that's not possible, then it's not proportional, which makes sense to me because we said on the other page it wasn't proportional, right? So I'm going to drop myself a little note. Cannot connect with a straight, I'm underlining that, line. I could connect it, but it's not with a straight line. If you use a ruler, it will not line up perfectly. Okay? So since it doesn't connect with a straight line, it's not proportional. Which is what we said on the other page. So it makes sense. Okay? Not a straight line, not proportional. All right, let's take a look at example 3. Okay? Let's graph example 3 and see what we get. Okay? So remember, our x's are first, so I'm going to go 0 on the x and up 6 on the y. Put a data point right there. I'm going to go 3 on the x, so 1, 2, 3, and up 9. 2, 4, 6, 8. Oh, 9 is halfway between the 8 and the 10, isn't it? I'm going to count 6 on the x. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and up 12. 1, 2, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, right there. 3 on the x and up 15. Oh, 15 doesn't exist. It's halfway between 14 and 16. I'll put a dot there. And over 12 on the x and up 18, almost to the very top. Right? What if I connect these? Can I take my straight edge, right? Take that ID from around your neck or straight edge ruler, side of a book, whatever. Try to connect them. Do they connect and make a straight line? Oh, they do. They do make a straight line. That's awesome. However, there's one other thing that has to happen in order for it to be proportional. It has to go through 0, 0. It has to go through here. It didn't go through there, did it? No. So that means it's not proportional. Not proportional because the line, yes, it is a line, because the line did not go through 0, 0, right? It's called the origin. In order for it to be proportional, it has to be a line and it has to go through the origin. Now on the side there, there's a typo, and it says, how are the graphs of the data points in examples 1 and 2 similar, but we want 1 and 3. How are the graphs of 1 and 3 similar, and how are they different? Well, graphs 1 and 3 are both lines, right? They are both lines. How are they different? One goes through the origin, the other doesn't. Number 1 goes through 0, 0. Number 3 doesn't. By the way, that one was proportional, right? Number 3, not proportional. Interesting. That is it for today. All right. You guys are going to be doing the homework later on. That's all the further you have to go. I hope you guys have a great evening. See you tomorrow.